Thank you all so much for coming.
Thank you for being here. I know you were just in New York doing Q&A last night, so this is a crazy trip.
Yeah. I slept 3 hours, so I'm going to be a little slow today, so I apologize in advance.
So I'll ask you a couple questions and then we'll pass it on to the audience. You discovered the book in a very unexpected way. So tell us about, discovering the book, and then what was it about the novel, Justin Torres' novel, that made you want to take this 6-year trip into making it?
So I was editing this movie, The Square, in Egypt, and I decided, this is a very long version of the story, but I'm going to tell it to you anyway, because I'm that tired. So I decided that I was going to I was going to be a revolutionary, I was going to stay in Egypt, and I was going to fight the revolution through film with these people, and then we came back, we were at Sundance together, me and the filmmakers, and then we didn't raise the money to send me back, so I was kind of just in New York, wondering why I wasn't a revolutionary, why I was broke. So there were a lot of confusing questions, and I went to the bookstore and I picked up Justin's novel, the We Recommend pile, and this wonderful bookstore for Nally Jackson, which it turns out he worked at, so it was something for him. And I read the first page and I was like, I know how to make this, and I want to make this, and this actually is something I'm deeply passionate about. I understand how to make films that are about families that are a mess, and I bought a bunch of copies. I read it in the cafe, and I bought a bunch of copies and I gave them to all my collaborators, and I emailed Justin, and we had drinks together, and we liked each other, and that was it. That was sort of just the beginning.
So I know that you were very mindful to the fact that this is a queer story and that was important to you, Justin. So how do you, in the process of translating it into a film, how do you keep the essence of that when you're adapting the novel to a screenplay first and then to the screen?
Yeah, I think Justin knew right away that I wasn't queer. He was like, this is a queer movie. he was like, you're not. And I was like, I know, but I got you. And so I called my friend Dan Castillo, who's a screenwriter and a playwright, and he also is gay, and we grew up together. And he had a journal when he was a young man, and when his parents discovered that journal, so we had a lot of similarity. There was a lot of serendipity there, and he was one of the first people I gave the book to, and I brought him on and asked him to help me adapt the novel into screenplay format. And one of the biggest elements that's different from the book and the film is that in the book, the character ages tremendously and has his first sexual experience. And we didn't want to age the actor, so we had to sort of create this sexual experience for this young man. And that very much was from Dan's experience and Dan's life, and he did a beautiful job, I think.
The young performers, the young cast is amazing in the film, particularly Rosado, who plays Jonah. So why did you want non-actors, non-professional actors, and how do you go about finding them?
So we got to the Sundance Labs and the Director's Labs, which was like a giant dream of mine, since I was 13 or something. And they asked you to cast professional young actors when your screenplay has children in it, because it's rigorous there, and they want to make sure that the young people can go through the process of the labs. But we auditioned a couple of them, and we just thought they were so wrong immediately, and not just because they were unsure, because they were trained. It was more that they sort of hadn't sorted out the ineffable quality that is so vital for star power on screen. There's something that Raul and Sheila have that's sort of magic that the kids have that's magic. That's has nothing to do with acting. It's you put a camera on their faces and they're just amazing for no reason. It's something that's just innate in them. It has nothing to do with training. And then, and they sort of sort themselves out. And so what we did was we went to find those kids with that ineffable quality. So Marlena Strobe, who was our intern at Public Record, she became our casting agent, because I went on the street and started like casting kids, and people thought it was really creepy. And it was like this bearded guy came up to me today, and I'm not sending my children to his basement office. But Marlena had like this lovely quality of like being able to talk to anyone, and she speaks Spanish, and it was like, and I speak really poor Spanish, so she's really good Spanish. It was like it was sort of serendipity, and she, like a lot of these things in the movie, people who worked on the movie, and she saw 1,000 kids across all of New York City. She went to parades and schools and community centers, and then we would bring the young men in, and they would do callbacks with me and with an acting coach named Raul, and she would sort of walk them through the process of slowly but surely started to narrow the group down more and more and more. And then we postponed the movie a year because we couldn't find Evan. And then, so first we found Josiah, and he was like 233, and then we found Isaiah, and he was somewhere a little later, I think he was like 3 something. And then Evan was like 880 something, I think. I might be wrong, but he was deep into the 800s. And then we worked with him for 6 to 8 months before we even began shooting, and the other boys for a year and a half.
So your work previous to this film was mostly in documentary. So this was your first time directing actors. How was that transition for you, and delving into the fiction world?
Well, it was lovely with the kids because they didn't know I didn't know anything. So they were just super psyched to be in a movie. With Raul and Sheila, they were really teaching me. They were teaching me what it was to direct, actors, and what their process was, and what they went through. At the Sundance House, you have really wonderful actors. Like Ed Harris was my coach, sort of, and we had these wonderful people teaching me those things, because I was very upfront with everybody that I didn't know what I was doing. And I think, sort of the not knowing helped in a weird way. It was like, it allowed for a tremendous amount of experimentation and a tremendous amount of freedom, and it allowed them to feel comfortable and confident in, who they are. And when you cast people that are amazing as Raul and Sheila, and those young men, they sort of have it in them anyway, and you can just kind of let them go.
I read in an interview that you are very hands-on in terms of directing, that you will do anything you ask directors to do. Is that true?
That's true. Yeah. Well, because I think that's unfair. Like, if you're gonna put a kid in a pit, like, you're not gonna get in the pit. That's crazy. That's not nice. And then other, or if you're swimming in the water all day, they're gonna. It's exhausting to be swimming all day, and you should be swimming with them. And I just feel like, if you do it, if you're willing to do it, then, as actors, they should be willing to do it. It seems, it becomes like, I don't know, it becomes a mutual respect thing. It's like, I'm not a general, I'm just like another person in the mix. It's much more socialist. Trying to be socialism.
Does that come from your background in documentary, perhaps?
Yeah, and my family's socialist. I think it's like, I think I want to experience things with people, and I want to be involved. I don't want to be a dictator, and I don't understand that kind of mentality as a director.
So something I love about the film is the animation by Mark Samsonich, hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, and it really gives us an insight into Jonah's mind. If you want to talk about why was that medium particularly great to express that?
Yeah, so it was about halfway into the edit that we realized that the movie wasn't playing. I mean, we knew it wasn't playing well even earlier in the edit, but halfway in, we still couldn't get into Jonah's psyche, and you really had to be in like that first-person space, that first-person narration, and that's in the book. Because the narrator is always telling you what he's feeling and thinking, you're always inside his head, but in the movie you're watching him and you don't always know what he's feeling and thinking, and so we needed to find different tools to allow us to get into his mind. And I had animated before, and actually this is like, I was talking with my friend Mike about this, is that we had this teacher in school, this guy named Raul, who just committed suicide. He just committed suicide a couple days ago. And he was our favorite teacher. He was like the best teacher. And he was Mike's teacher. Mike and I lived together. And he was teaching him all these different modes of animation. And one of the animations that Mike brought home were these unbelievable photocopy animations, these Czech photocopy animations. And what was so beautiful about them is that you could see the paper texture move. And I never forgot that. It's amazing what a teacher can do, like a really wonderful teacher can do. So I've been thinking about him a lot today, or lately. And I don't know if we would have this movie, or we'd have that element of the movie without that man. And so from Mike, I then internalized that idea and brought it to Mark, and we brought it to Justin. Justin loved the idea, and we put it on screen.
Aside from having children and adapting one of the complications of that until you also shot this on 16mm film, which is beautiful and amazing. Why was that? Why couldn't this be shot on digital?
I think for a lot of reasons. One is for the same reason that the animation had to be textural in the way that you can see the paper grain moving, we wanted the film grain to move. That there's something about all of my films that I want them to be tangible. I want you to be able to imagine reaching out and touching the screen at least. The lovely thing about film is that it's real. It's silver and halide. It is actually tangible. You can actually touch it. So that's one thing that's important to me. But there's also a process-oriented thing with film, where when you're shooting something that's precious, when you're shooting silver, everybody sort of is on their A game. And people be like, how do you shoot with kids who've never acted before and you're shooting on film? And I was like, the kids, you get 3 takes out of kids. They don't give you more than that. And after that, they want to play. They want to play video games and run around and try to murder each other. So the film just makes everything more focused and more clear, and everybody on your crew more excited about the moment, which is really, really lovely. And then also it's way easier to color correct. When you get in the color correct with stuff that's filmed and stuff that's not filmed, film is beyond much, it's beyond easier. It's digital, everybody shoots digital now, but it's really terrible to make digital look good. It's really hard, and it's really painful. And film is an easy medium to make look good because it's so malleable and has so much color space. And when you get into that room and you play with it, it's just really exciting and fun rather than digital is really annoying.
Going back to the creating the family unit, how much time do you guys spend together? Was it Utica, New York?
Yeah.
And creating this relationship between the 3 boys, so we could believe that they're brothers.
We spent a long time. We spent 1.5 years with the boys, and Evan was 6 months, and the other 2 for that 1.5 years. And then the boys lived together. So they stayed in a room together, just like in the movie. And then the parents lived together. They had their own little house, and they lived together. So the idea was to create family units for both of them. And then we would do sleepovers, and sometimes it would be the whole family, or sometimes it would just be me. But we would try as much as we could to spend as much time in that space as possible. And what it did is we created a sense that we were a family, at least that summer. Sort of what camp is, everybody cries at camp because they're leaving each other, and because they all sleep together and they all live together and they feel like they're a family. Really have that same kind of environment. Before I pass it on to the audience, I just want to a little trivia that the baby that we see in the film was the birth of your own son. That's my Asher Zagar.
Why did you decide to put it in the film? Besides that's beautiful.
I think that the way I make movies is with a level of intimacy. In documentary, you're very comfortable with that level of intimacy. You're this kind of intimacy is how you create an intimate environment. You're trying to do your best to create an intimate environment. and I wanted to follow the same ethos. I make documentary because I don't know how to make anything but what I made before, so I was just like, I'll just do the same thing. It'll be the same level of intimacy, and what could be more intimate and amazing than the birth of your own child? The weird thing about it was that I asked them to turn off all the lights. So like usually when you give birth in a hospital, you like have all the lights on because it's easier to see. But I was like, we should just turn off all the lights and we'll just have the one spotlight and we'll just like do it. And they were like, yeah, this is cool, and my wife is awesome, and she was like, yeah, I'm into it, and we all like got to do it, and then, it worked out.
So you were directing the birth of your son?
Well, the lighting, I was directing the lighting, I didn't, not documentary, just let the rest do.
You were the DP?
Yeah, I was a gaffer.
Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah.
Over here.
The film was really beautifully edited in a disjointed kind of way, the way that children live their lives episodically, from moment to moment, without really connecting the dots. So it was kind of hard for me to, sort of follow along. But I let the movie kind of take me. And was the novel like that, or was that something that you came up with for that reason?
Yeah, the novel's like that. I didn't come up with that, but. When you get into the editing room, Keiko Deguchi, who edited for the longest period of time, and Brian, were very aware that that they would change, that what we shot wouldn't be exactly what was in the book. And so we edited together, and we sort of try and figure out how to create that fever dream quality that allows you to move from space to space, without it necessarily having to be linear in the traditional sense. More of an emotional linearity.
Over here.
Yeah, so I have two questions. First one, the book ends with various scenes at the end that kind of give it an uplifting ending. The father bathed his son, and then the son talks about how his brothers were changed after that event, that incident with the drawings. The movie ends a bit differently. It ends with him seeing his brothers and imagining them inviting him, but then it's not true. So it kind of gave a more different type of ending, a different feeling of that just was very different from the book. And I wonder what was your take on that? How did you come to the decision to kind of change the emotion at the end of the film?
We were trying to change the emotion, but we had this problem where. In the book, as you read the book, so you know that the character ages in 2 or 3 chapters, 10 or 15 years. It's unclear. 10, really. 10 to 8. I mean, he becomes like 17, 16, you don't really know. And we really felt that we couldn't do that and maintain an emotional connection for the audience. That if we had an actor who the audience was connecting with, then we just in the last 10 minutes were like, whoop, different guy. And I saw the movie and I was like, I guess you can do that? I don't know. But I really felt at the time, and Justin was like, we can't do that. We both agreed. Justin was very much a part of every, step of the process. So we were trying to figure out ways to communicate a lot of the things that are in the book. Like you talk about the boys growing up is in the book, and I'm not sure it's exactly uplifting, but it does take you to a new place, and we were trying to do that emotionally and ephemerally without having to say exactly what happened. And then the same thing in terms of the kind of quality that happens at the end of the book where he says, upright, I say, I swear, I pray. We were trying to take those words and give it visual wings, literally and metaphorically. But of course it had to change. It is different.
Thank you. And can you tell me about
Yeah, totally.
Anyone else?
All the way to the back.
Okay, go ahead. I can't see you.
Okay, I just want to say that the soundtrack was gorgeous and creative. And can you talk about that a little bit, because it added so much to the film?
Yeah. Nick Samuto, he was in a band called The Books. You know The Books? Anybody? Sweet. He's amazing. He's a genius. And they scored my first film. It was really, him primarily, which is called In a Dream. And we've been wanting to work on something together for a long time. He has 3 kids who are similar to these young men. And so we started working on the soundtrack way before we even started shooting. I think he was one of the first people I gave the book to, and one of the first people that I gave the script to, and we started building sounds. The idea was to create a soundscape that was musical in a way that wasn't specific, so you wouldn't be able to tell the instrument. And so either we were using sounds that were from the film, literally, like banging on plates and knives and forks and stuff like that, or we were like trying to create new sounds and create musical elements out of those new sounds. A lot of it was based on like kind of heartbeats and exploding heartbeats and like this kind of like weird synthesizer 90s things. And he's a genius. I don't know what he was doing. What was he doing?
Anyone else?
Yeah, up here.
Sure, go ahead.
Can you talk a little bit about the build-up to production and working with the young actors and, working through the Sundance Lab and from your documentary background, how you applied some of your experience working with subjects in the, nonfiction world and, preparing actors to shoot a fiction film?
That's a long question. That's a long process. I don't know. I mean, again, like what's lovely about the Sundance Labs is they take you in and they are willing to accept the fact that you don't really know what you're doing. And what's lovely also about the labs is that you are with other people that are very human too and confused, and they're your advisors. So you realize like these giant filmmaking gods of yours are also like confused and frightened, fragile people, and you're like, oh, maybe I'll be all right. And so you sort of just go with, and a lot of what you're trained to do is you go with your instincts. And so my instincts are based on the documentary work that I've done. And so, I was like, if we're going to do this, we'll get all non-actors and we'll, create real environments and we'll just kind of rehearse these scenes as scenarios and we'll just keep going through them. And that was really Noelle's idea too. It was like, let's not show them the script. Also because the script was really intense, so we didn't want to alienate their parents immediately. You're like, that's what you have to do. Your children. And so and the parents would get into it too. They were like, oh, this is cool and this is safe and these people are nice and like they're not gonna hurt my kids, and like the kids are like, this is safe and wonderful and warm. And so slowly but surely we built a lot of trust over that, year and a half. So that was important. And I don't know, I can't remember the end of the question. I feel like I got half. Is that all right? Okay.
Because just, I hope someone else in the audience finds it interesting, but just for my personal selfishness, can you talk about, the Latino element in the film, that, there's Spanish language songs and, the father's Puerto Rican. How important was that for Justin to keep that very present in the story?
Yeah, I mean, it's vital. It's so necessary, and I think as someone who's not Latino, if I didn't have Justin on set, that was like sort of a prerequisite for both of us. I think the nice thing about getting involved with somebody who's excited to collaborate with you, as intimately as Justin and I collaborated together, is that you're willing to say, like, I need you there all the time, and the other person's like, I want to be there all the time, and you get like amped about having this kind of creative back and forth. So it wasn't just the Latino element, but the Latino element is huge. It's like just, all the songs in the movie are Justin's songs, But beyond that, like the house is the house. Justin's like, it has to be this kind of house. It was like a 1.5 story ranch. And we were up for that challenge. It was like, in his neighborhood, there was 2 different kinds of poverty. There was like a poverty without a basement, and there was poverty, like working class poor, like his family, where you had a basement. So you have to find this house. You can't rent that house on like VRBO or whatever. You gotta find that house. You gotta go out into the field and find that house. And like we were down for that kind of collaboration, that kind of challenge. I think every time we would meet one of his requests with like really amazing options and really like Jeremy and Christina, our producers, they looked at the house for 9 months, and like I can't tell you how many people like threw them off their porches with like asked, like telling them to get their guns and stuff, and and they just like went through it, and I think that inspired Justin, inspired us, and I think we all made a better film because of that, and I think the Latino influence on the film is rich because of that, you know what I mean? Because he was able to dig into his past, and Raul also was like, he came in with, he's Mexican, he's not Puerto Rican. He came in with this incredible Puerto Rican knowledge that he had spent 1.5 years learning this character, and he was really able to do, people, Puerto Rican people tell me, it's like, oh, he seems like he's Puerto Rican. I wouldn't know. But Raul did that, Raul really put, and it was that's a collaborative effort. That's like a lot of people trying to get it right.
Thank you so much for being here, Yuma.
Thank you.
Thank you.